Everything the light touches is our kingdom.
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night!
To infinity and beyond!
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep!
It's morphin' time!
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck.
What are you smiling about? Dude, I almost had you.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
I am king of Wakanda.
I am Groot.
I am Iron Man.
I am William Wallace. I am Batman.
This is the Poi and Soy Podcast.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Welcome back to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. You are here with the boys of Poi and Soy on our post-credits segment. Post-credits is the segment where we go through movies, TV, entertainment, and all the good stuff in between. I am your co-host, Marlon Chang. With me, as always, are my longtime friends and co-hosts, Jalen Poston, Kyoto McKee. Say what's up to the crowd.
Hi. Hola, crowd. Another beautiful Friday we got.
Absolutely.
Going downtown.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us today. While we got your attention and you just joined us on this segment, please feel free to give us a like, follow, subscribe, wherever you're viewing this. We appreciate it from you. We're going to get into a lot of news nuggets today, but before we get into that, we got to give a big shout out to our partners at W Energy, our favorite energy supplement coming in powdered form, beautiful tubs, delicious flavors. Whether you're gaming, doing some chores, you're working, just want to run some errands, whatever you got to do, W's got your back. It'll get you through the day. So go to w.gg, the app W Energy, and use the promo code POINSOY, POINSOY, for 10% off your order. Not only supporting them as a business, you're supporting us as content creators, and we appreciate you all for it. But yeah, you hear that? You hear that? That's liquid
Do one of
lightning,
these
brother.
sick cups, brother. Do one of them quick ones, man.
How's everybody doing on this fine morning? Morning.
Man, it's barely morning.
Well, because the time difference for Jalen, I was like, is it still? Yeah, it's still morning. Yeah.
I know we are lovely, good sir.
Yeah.
I assume we've got some numbers to talk about because the internet has been on fire.
We got some, and we're gonna get to that right now because the first story that we got today, not exactly the exciting news that we wanted to kind of jump into this week because we all thoroughly enjoyed the movie, but unfortunately, on the second weekend of Fantastic Four, their box office took a 66% drop. I believe, if I remember correctly, it brought in $40 million domestically, and I think it was ranked the 8th worst second weekend for the MCU, which is not great. You know, it's taken it took a hit. I just kind of want to get your thoughts on this specifically. Do you guys think that there's any one reason why this could have been a situation that happened? Because it was critically acclaimed, audience acclaimed, had a great first weekend. I don't think there was anything very specifically negative coming out about the film, but it's losing its legs. And for a movie that I was hoping would kind of maybe creep up to the 700 million, I don't think it's going to kind of reach that. It may trickle over 500 million at this point. But what are your guys' thoughts?
Just these fair weather fans, man. I think it's nonsense because there's two films now this calendar year that all these MCU haters are air quote claim to be fans are saying like, oh, Marvel hasn't made good movies in 5 years, blah, blah, blah. And yet in one calendar year, they've produced two of the best films, I would argue, out of the entire franchise. And where are the fans? Where is the support? Where are you guys going? Obviously, the core audience is there weekend one, right? Most of it. But I will say, I do think this movie might still just have that, superhero fatigue on top of it of people still maybe feeling like they don't know what's going on at this point in the MCU. So after Endgame, everybody's just kind of checked out. They don't understand like what they're doing with Doomsday or what they're going to do with Secret Wars and all that kind of stuff. And so they're still kind of figuring out like, well, what have I missed since Endgame? And really nothing, because everything, to me at least, is starting kind of with Thunderbolts. So
I agree.
Or actually, well, I guess technically Brave New World, but not a lot of people saw Brave New World. But even if you didn't, if you just hopped on into Thunderbolts, you'd still be okay. If you just hop on now to Fantastic Four, I still think you'd be okay. But yeah, it's weird to me that for the big complaint was like for a while that Marvel hasn't felt like Marvel, and yet two of the best films of the entire MCU franchise have been released in one calendar year. And where are you fans that are claiming that you want this kind of quality from Marvel Studios? So
yeah,
that's the part I don't understand. I think also just like, a lot of times this is the last people's time to get out and about for vacations before school starts. So it's a weird, like end of July, early August is a weird time to try to drop a movie. Got that going on. I think Superman in some ways is a little bit more approachable because it's so bad that you can throw it on in front of kids and it's got more bright, shining colors and you don't have to pay attention as much. So there's that element to it too. So it's a little bit geared more towards the kids and all that kind of stuff. And when you do that, obviously you're going to be able to lock down more people going into the theaters and all that kind of stuff. Also, just, money is money. Sometimes people just don't have financials right now. A lot of weird stuff happening in the United States as far as people being able to afford anything. So let alone movies. So outside of us, people that put stuff away for it, that's kind of the thing. Yeah.
Keone, as I throw it over to you, I just looked up the current box office. Currently worldwide, it is at 382 million, which is not anything to snuff at, especially approaching your third weekend, entering the third weekend. Do you think that this will have enough legs to at least kind of push past that $500 mark?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, I think after people have seen sort of the drop off, there will be sort of that second wave of like the us's in the world who are like, let's go watch it again. Like maybe it wasn't, whatever. And then you kind of just throw more money at it again. I was only going to say, I feel like it's just one of those things where like we're in that world of like the waves, you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's on the wave, sometimes it's not on the wave. Superman just happened to catch the wave, whereas Fantastic Four might have just been like that weird time right after Superman. Maybe that was just great planning by James Gunn to release it, a couple weeks earlier so that he could catch that initial wave of people who were still ecstatic about watching a superhero film. I honestly can't really, put into words like why I feel like the drop off is so severe, but we're at where we're at with the MCU. I think old Kevin Feige needs to right the ship a little bit. I think there's just a lot of people who are turned off by the fact that there's just been so many drops as far as like bad content. I mean, there's been a lot of that sort of like everybody's waiting for Blade. You know what I mean? Like it's just there's so many things where I feel like he's disappointed fans to the point where now it's just like they're just turned off from the idea of even supporting it. I'm hoping he can. We're obviously on that train that he definitely has with the last few that we've seen. We'll see, Blade, come on. Jay said it before the pod. Like, what are we doing here? Just release him. I don't understand it.
Well, to piggyback off Keone, though, like 5 straight years of just nothing burgers, right? Like Quantumania, like that was an okay one. Yeah. I mean, I still had fun with it, but I mean, it was not great. The Marvels was terrible.
Eternals was underrated, but it was during that
we loved
slump.
it, but the world hated it. Yeah,
incredibly underrated. I think that was I'm talking like even post Endgame, the last literal 5 years, outside of No Way Home, which is a asterisk because technically it's a Sony co-license deal
and
with
there's
Marvel.
A fan cast, and everyone heard that the originals had come back into it, and they're like,
so it had that buzz of nostalgia with it, and it was a big, big winner for them. So outside of No Way Home, they just don't have any big like Marvel feeling movies. And like Thor 4, again, I had a good time with it. I love Taika Waititi, but like the film just isn't good. It's just not, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just not a good
it really isn't.
MCU film. So like when you just crank out all that stuff, plus all the Disney Plus flops that they've had in between there with Echo and Hawkeye not really hitting like they wanted.
Have you seen the Disney Plus perks thing like they've rolled out? It's like kind of embarrassing. Like they're like trying so hard to retain their like subscriber base, and it's
I think that's why they're merging the Hulu into it.
That won't do anything. Hulu's basically
I think
been on
just
there
to kind of,
this entire time.
yeah. But I mean, to save, since they're integrating it into the one interface,
One service.
Yeah, I think that'll
At this
in
point,
some way.
Just sell your movies on Netflix because goodness,
Secret
you guys are
Invasion. I mean, my
failing.
God, that show.
Oh
was
my
awful.
God!
Jesus
Don't
Christ.
kill
remind us
Maria
of
Hill
that
in the
one.
first episode, just like
Yeah.
all willy
No,
nilly.
guys,
That show
it was
should
a
have been so
scroll.
good.
It's a scroll. She's gonna come back. Nope, never.
Don't
came
worry. You know, Don Cheadle, he was never there for when his best friend died.
Back. Yeah,
But we're not going to address it ever again.
yeah.
Good
that was
luck.
the
Yeah,
other
and that's
thing.
the other part of it too.
Yeah.
Is like you have that show that should have shook the entire fabric of like what we love about the MCU if they had done it right, but they didn't, and they sucked at it. But yeah, it's just when you have all that mixed together, the last 5 years since Endgame, it was just very evident that they built to that point, and then they kind of improvised because they got cold feet on Jonathan Majors with his whole deal. Like it did feel like at least there was still a destination, but then when that all blew up and they decided to cut ties with it, that's when it all went bad. And I still to this day feel like that was their mistake of just jumping ship on Jonathan Majors so early when all of that was going on. And then obviously comes out that, you know, they found not guilty, so they wasted all that morale and good faith of fans for literally nothing. So here we are.
Fair enough. Well, let us know what you think down below in the comments. Do you think that the Fantastic Four is going to have a little bit more legs, going to push through, get some money back, hopefully become profitable at some point during its run? Let us know what you think down below. The next topic we got. Now, this is something where I know for a fact, at least the three of us have at some point watched it, maybe watched the videos together. But Regal Theaters is teaming up with Dude Perfect to kind of release a theatrical documentary. This is kind of exciting because Dude Perfect was one of the, you know, when you're supposed to be doing like your papers, studying, you go on YouTube and it's like, oh, Dude Perfect drops a video. What crazy trick shots are they going to be doing?
What are they doing today?
Yeah, I'm still watching them. They're so good.
And now they have their big headquarters was in Texas, I believe. That's just an adult playground where you just never have to grow up.
That was
like
our
Neverland.
life. We should have been there, guys.
It should have been us.
We should have been.
Oh God.
Yeah.
But what do you think about this? I don't think necessarily that this ragtag group of friends is struggling in any way, and I think that this kind of will bring more eyes to them, if nothing more than to help profit, in a sense, to have more viewership, to have more notoriety. But what did you guys take on this? They're just teaming up with Regal Theater, so it's not a wide release. It's going to be, I believe, the article does say 800 screens across the nation. But just thoughts on this?
I ironically am going to see it. I got the announcement thing, and then anyway, something I watch with like my nephews and nieces a lot.
Oh, nice.
Still, just they still got it. You know, they still do all the things. They're still very fun, still very entertaining. Also, watch their like I can't remember. It wasn't a 30 for 30, but it was one of those ones that like one of those behind the scenes documentaries of like their shot in Vegas. They made like the longest basketball shot from like the top of the stratosphere or the needle thing. I don't know. One of those things. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That is what it is. Yeah. So they made the shot from the top of the stratosphere. Watch that doc. Fantastic. It's funny. You watch the behind the scenes of like something like that, where obviously they tried like 1,000 times to try to make this shot, but like, it's just wild how much stuff goes into their, you know, shot making things. I mean, they had to like clear traffic and get like, obviously, because you have a basketball falling from the top of a stratosphere, like it's coming with some, you know, magnets or some speed. Yeah. So, it took them a minute to make that one, but it's just funny. Like they went through like all these emotional trials of like, can we make this? Will we make this? I don't think we're, you know what I mean? Like how much time, but anyway, all that to say, I mean, they're great guys. They're obviously like Christians, and like their whole entire story, how they got together, I think that was in there too, like how they started and all that stuff. It's just interesting, like that they almost weren't a thing and then kind of were, just because, you know, a couple of the guys were about to leave and then had like normal jobs. And then there's always that scary YouTube thing of like, should we do this, or you know what I mean?
Like
should
dive
we?
in or
Yeah, it's like you either go full blown, drop an episode once a week, or you're going back to your 9 to 5. So yeah, just cool story, really fun, and I still find them just immensely entertaining. So yeah, good times.
I know. Jay, any thoughts?
Yeah, good for them, man. Good for them. I think it's just gonna be fun to kind of see like how I'm glad they got to this point, because I do think it's worth, for fans at least, and other people maybe outside influencers and maybe aren't as familiar with Dude Perfect, just to kind of see like when you build something that with such good intentions and it's just always just been fun, there's always going to be some stuff that's hard in the background that you don't see, as far as like building a business like they have that clearly is supporting all of their lives. So a documentary I think would be fun to see for sure, and see just kind of how they got to this point, and all the trials and tribulations that go through that, because again, so, I mean, online content is not, a guarantee by any means. If you literally just have to be lucky in the right time and doing the right things and being consistent with what you got.
Their realm of content is like, quote unquote, like the perfect kind, because you just have to be creative. You figure out, I'm sure they're in like the war room, if you will, figuring out different ideas for a new video every now and then, and doing everything, making a list of things that how they can produce it, and then you get the video on, and literally you can imagine it. And I'm hoping I'm not, maybe I just get distracted easily, but those random videos where someone will just like start a domino falling, and then it's like leading to like a car being pushed somewhere, but like you it's not gonna get you anything, but you just kind of have to finish watching it. Like, where is it gonna end up?
It's like,
what's
where does
gonna
it
happen
end?
on the last thing? Oh, it's going through a living room now. But that's kind of their shtick.
Oh, never mind. That's
what?
No, it wouldn't. I feel like it wouldn't be appropriate for this section. So
Okay, no, but it's just you have to see it. Like if they made a video like, hey, we're gonna see how far we can throw this football across the field over a building, and if it lands into like one of 3 trash cans or something like that. You watch it to the end because you want to see if they actually do it, and more times than not, they actually do it. So, I think that this is huge for them. I'm very happy for their success. I wish it was our success, but
it should have been us. I know. I was just gonna say,
should have been us.
That's like we could have made trick shots. You know what I mean? The amount of trick shots we could make. I'm just saying.
We just got to do volleyball trick shots now.
Just
change the market. A little bit smaller, but it'll work. We'll do it.
Well, let us know what you think down below in the comments. Are you a fan of Dude Perfect? Is this the first time you've ever heard of them? If it is, I would recommend go watching some videos.
Just like,
I think you'll have
perfect. Just like that's
perfect.
It's like pretty much their name. It's like perfect.
Brah. Anyways, moving on to the next news nugget of today. This was not on my bingo card for the year 2025, but here we are. Michael Bay is currently leaving a film that he had signed on for at Netflix, which doesn't sound like a lot, but the reported reason of Hibbs' departure is because he is now talking with Paramount on creating a new Transformers movie. So it'll be Michael Bay returning to the potential helm of a Transformers movie. How are we feeling about this?
Is Shia LaBeouf returning?
Let's say, can we just get the
know.
gang back together then?
I think canonically Shia LaBeouf is dead. If I remember in like one of the
it's
Mark
like
Wahlberg
alluded
ones.
to, but not like super confirmed. But
dead.
You can
like age-wise,
yeah,
or
it's
dead. Like
no,
I think it's like implied that they had like some kind of mission or something and it went wrong, but like it's never confirmed. We don't see a body, so in my opinion, I think you just throw him back on the screen and we don't explain.
He's like, I was never gone.
Right.
I was just in the
like
torture in prison.
Like reveals his hood or something like.
Yeah. I think getting the gang back together would be cool. I mean, Megan Fox is literally doing nothing, so might as well get her too. You know what I mean? Just get it cranking, get it going. If Michael Bay's back, let's get it going. But good for him. I think that's a pretty solid move. I mean, we can say what we want about like Michael Bay, but he has banger films in the bag. Okay, he does. He's Bad Boys 2, one of my favorite films of all time. Love Bad Boys 2. The first 2 or 3 Transformers
Armageddon?
films. Banger.
Come on.
Armageddon, banger.
Yeah, banger.
Yeah, like dude can make some very cool set pieces and action films of that nature. So he's definitely geared up for it. So to hear that he's returning to Transformers, which he is kind of the Michael Bay of that, or the Zack Snyder of that franchise, of just like he put such a distinct visual style to those films that now all of them have to kind of line up with what he did. In that kind of sense. So yeah, very much looking forward to that. Can't wait to see what they're cooking. I will always go see the Transformers movies. I've seen all of them in theaters at some point or another. So cannot wait.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I was like, I didn't even realize until you said it. I was like, I think I have two. Including Transformers 1, which was fantastic. Loved that.
That was fun.
Yeah,
you know,
it was so
I'm
good.
unapologetically a big fan of number 2, just because I thought it had like this fun quirkiness of bringing it worldwide kind of.
You gotta remind me, which one was number 2? Number 2 was
where Shia LaBeouf kind of gets like.
It's not like Transformers 2, right?
He kind of like starts tweaking out with Rainn Wilson in the press.
It's like, and then her tongue is just like a metallic, like, man, Shia LaBeouf needs to be back, because I was like, he was like one of my favorite parts of the entire thing.
Could you imagine though, like the Shia LaBeouf now, just like some hardened Sam Witwicky?
Honestly, it'd be kind of dope, you know? Like maybe he lost her name? Maybe she died,
the kid
and he's like
saw some trauma in an intergalactic war that he didn't, plan to be in.
That's true.
And perhaps along the way he met some kind of weird alien AI named Zordon that gave him the power of the morphing grid, and all of a sudden we have a great crossover with Transformers and Power Rangers. You're welcome. I'll take my $5 million for the idea.
G.I. Joe.
Yeah, so I don't understand. So that just gone.
It's just putting it out there and seeing how everyone likes it.
Because what's his name? What is that actor's Henry something from? Is his name Henry? Maybe it's not Henry.
From which one?
The Asian one from Snake Eyes.
Oh, Harry Golding.
Harry Golding. Yeah, I was like, he could drop in there. You know what I mean? Old Snake Eyes. Yeah. Come on, let's just get that one rolling.
Because Hasbro owns all those propies now, right? They got G.I. Joe, Power Rangers, and Transformers, so the IPs are already in the bag. We might as well just go crazy and just make a big toy movie.
Wait,
you know what I mean?
I thought Saban had Power. Is that a subsidiary? Am I tripping? It's two different, no?
I know Saban sold them a while ago.
They did sell them, but I
Hasbro
can't remember.
Still has the IP for a long time.
Gotcha.
Unless Saban bought them back within the last 3-4 years.
I'm definitely intrigued. I think it's been a minute since I've seen something like truly Michael Bay, other than the ambulance film where he was just with his drone the whole time, flying around with the camera. But we'll see. Anywho, let us know down below. Did you enjoy the original Transformers movies? Are you excited by a potential reunion between Transformers and Michael Bay? Let us know your thoughts. The next news nugget we got today. Heat 2, a sequel that we were not expecting to happen, has been technically on the negotiation floor, but Warner Brothers is not willing to shell out any budget over $170 million, and I believe the requested budget was $200, if not more, $200 million. So they are exploring some sort of co-financing deal with Apple, but Leonardo DiCaprio has spoken to Man about starring, and they said that if Leonardo DiCaprio does end up signing on, it will be moving forward, definitely. How are we feeling about this? Were you guys big fans of the Val Kilmer Heat movie?
I don't know that I've ever.
I was just about to say, I was going to be real honest. I don't know if that's on my list. I watched it. Yeah.
We are the worst movie review show ever.
I am sorry, but this one's a little obscure.
I like the look of surprise on your faces sometimes.
True.
I had
definitely out of left field. I mean, I guess it seems like it's on Leo. I mean, he doesn't really pick terrible films these days. He's kind of got his pick of the litter. So I mean, if obviously Warner Brothers needs another hit or at least another solid film to go under their resume, get the guy in there. Figure out the money. I'm not sure why we can't, figure out budgets and all that kind of stuff. But maybe that's a little bit of a rub off from a recent project that is not even out doing a movie that came out in 2013 as an origin film. So maybe they want to tighten budgets up a little bit. Who's to say?
I mean, Zaslav has been tightening budgets. He's been doing it since he sat in the seat. So I think potentially it is probably just him being like, well, it's a Heat sequel. It doesn't necessarily need a budget of that much. The CGI is minimal at best for this movie. So
I was only going to say that it's a little odd that it would be like a direct sequel to the original. Not necessarily. I haven't seen it, so I'm not even entirely sure. But I was only going to say that like feels odd that like it wouldn't just be like a reboot starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Like it's weird that Leo would sign up for like Heat 2. You know what I mean? That sounds like something Leo wouldn't typically do. But you know, if they get him on board, I mean, old boy can't do no wrong. So I mean, I imagine it would be similar to his character from like the geez, why am I blanking on all the ones with the one with Matt Damon and he was like a cop, but he wasn't a cop. He was a mobster, but was a cop. Yeah. I'm like that kind of feel. That's where I'm.
I feel like I don't know why I imagine it like, because let's face it, when you really think about it, Leonardo DiCaprio is like a kid in an adult's body. I can just imagine him in like his home theater in a robe playing with a lightsaber with like a Bluetooth phone. He's like, "Talk to me, Michael. Heat 2? I'm interested. Let me know what we're doing here."
I mean, it's like at this point, Jay's right. He could do whatever the hell he wants. Like,
but we'll find out. Let us know down in the comments below. Were you a fan of the original Heat movie starring the late great Val Kilmer? Is this something you're interested in? Do you think it warrants the budget that it's requesting? And do you think that Leonardo DiCaprio would add some pizzazz to it? The next news nugget. This one I added because I do have a question for you guys. One Piece. All right, they released the live action. I believe, Keone, you said you finished the first season, correct? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen, I don't remember if you were able to get around to it.
Nerd.
Yeah, I watched the beginning parts
from me.
The beginning parts of the anime series. I thought it was a really great live action rendition, and I was very excited about season 2. But it doesn't seem like the show will be coming out until I believe next year. Now, the question I have for you guys: are they arguably shooting themselves in the foot once again, because Netflix seems to take forever when it comes to shows? You know, for example, Wednesday took 3 years for the second season to come out. Doesn't really make any sense. One Piece, a source material that has spanned thousands or over 1,000 episodes, and this would be maybe touching on episodes 30 to 70 of those thousands of episodes. So my point being, have they just started a marathon that there is no possible way of actually potentially finishing? Like, there could be a world where maybe they just call it an end. It's like, hey, the plan was to just get to this story arc and then end it there, and then maybe somewhere down the line someone will pick up the rest of it, maybe with new actors. But these actors are not going to get any younger. Anime is very tricky in that sense because characters don't have to get older in cartoons.
No.
Now they have live action people who are going to be getting older. The first season, I believe, came out in 2023. So we are getting, once again, another season that's coming out 3 years after the first one. What is this doomed? Is this? Yeah. Is
there's
what
no
are
way.
We looking at here?
Like, there's no way they sustain this. There's no way that they can formulate something to where that's going to make sense if we're doing 3 years. I mean, Jesus, we forgot about one of their tentpole series, which is Stranger Things, and that's coming out, I guess, soon, right? Because we're getting close to that time frame. I didn't even remember when it was supposed to come out, because they took 5. Yeah, because it took 8. Like, it had such big momentum after that 4th season. That's how
children
we got
were born and have started school since then.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, it's insane. Joseph Quinn entered the cultural zeitgeist after that 4th season, and like was so amazing. And so were, Sadie Sink and all the others. But yeah, it's crazy because like you see the trailer for season 5 now that they finally dropped. And like, all the kids have like beards and stuff. Like everybody's a grown up, and they're basically doing like 23-year-old high schoolers. Yeah, some of them are married or whatever. It's crazy. So yeah, that's just when they have these kind of models like this, and the One Piece especially. It's not like if it was Dragon Ball or something, like there is a finite point where like there were a lot of those episodes that they wanted to adapt, but there was a point where the show was supposed to kind of end for Dragon Ball, and it kind of kept going. Much the same to Power Rangers as well.
Yeah.
But this show, like, nah, dude. Like, the dude that made One Piece is still like, no, I've still got like 900 more stories I want to.
Don't worry,
it keeps going. Don't worry. Which is like insanely cool, and like what a piece of like amazing art and culture that we have to just dissect if anybody ever wants to jump into it. But yeah, there's no way with this model of 3 years or whatever, and how young, the actors are kind of youngish now. They look like they're in their 20s, but there's 0% chance that they can keep this rolling and even scratch the surface of the stories that fans, I would expect, want to see and have adapted from that point of view. So
yeah,
the math ain't math, and there's just no way.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with all of the failures of like Disney Plus and some of the other streaming programs like Paramount and stuff, Netflix just feels like, because they're kind of at the top, they can just do what they want. But honestly, you're starting to lose interest of everybody. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you can really hold the interest of people to stay subscribed to your service if they can go to another service, watch a show, unsubscribe from yours while they're watching that show, then come back and watch it when it does release 3 years from now. So like, I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. I feel like they were so good before, where they used to just release like yearly and all this other stuff. Now we're just getting to the point where it's like this ridiculous amount of time in between is not it. And then on top of that, if I'm waiting 3 years to watch a show, it better be a banger. Like everything better be just on point. Like no graphic issues, no nothing. So
yeah.
No
CGI
buffering.
better be fresh.
No buffering. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, let us know down in the comments below. Are you a fan of the original anime of One Piece? Are you a fan of the first season? Are you excited for season 2? Are you thinking that this is going to end up nowhere and you should just never hop in because you're going to get disappointed and heartbroken? Let us know your thoughts. The next news nugget we got today, Spider-Punk, who premiered in Spider-Man Across the Universe, Across the Universe. Wait. Spider-Verse. Sorry.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Across the Spider-Verse, which was played by Daniel Kaluuya, known from Get Out, as well as Black Panther. Apparently, they're fast-tracking a Spider-Punk animated feature. I'm not upset at it, but on the timeline of movies that we've discussed taking too damn long to come out with their sequel, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse is once again at the mercy of that taking 5 years to come out. And you're telling me that Sony said, hey, while we're all trying to figure that out, let's just sign another animated film, which we probably won't get done until everyone is old and gray and has grandchildren.
Right.
What are your guys' thoughts on, first, the idea of this being, fast-tracked or greenlit at Sony? And secondly, does it even make sense? When are we actually going to get this film?
Does it make sense? Absolutely, because Spider-Man is the IP for Sony. I mean, there's a behind-the-scenes photo that has exploded the internet from Brand New Day, because it is actually just peak aura. I don't know if you guys have seen that, where he's like on top of the car.
Yeah. Don't worry.
It's got to be the greatest behind-the-scenes photo of all time. But that being said, Spider-Man is the IP for Sony and their major box office successes. Whether it was the Sam Raimi franchise, the Andrew Garfield franchise, people still show up for Spider-Man. Does not matter.
Yeah.
Even when they're terrible, at least they make a decent chunk opening weekend, and then they will still be okay. So, that being said, I think it does make sense for them to do another animated picture. Clearly, they had success with Into the Spider-Verse. Obviously, that one's got a little bit more of a weird situation as to why it was delayed. Somebody is very much a pick-me bro. That might be the lead in the films. They're trying to let all that kind of simmer down.
Yeesh.
Because it could have came out this year, but he had that whole weird situation where he was like half stalking one of the former stars of like Far From Home and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, it was weird. But other than that, if Shalik Moore can just kind of lock it in, buddy.
Pants,
Less is more.
Shut up.
More.
Yeah, just, bro. It's okay. Let him go, bro. Let him go. Stop being weird. As long as he can just lock it down, we'll have our movie. But I still think that one's still going to be successful because everybody still remembers the first two. And obviously there was a lot of momentum off of the second one because of how it ended. And I do think it won't get as much as it could have, clearly. But I still do think that film will be fine. This movie, I don't know, 50-50. Could be good. Could be just another solid, like it'll make a little bit more than the budget kind of thing. Nothing crazy. It's not going to blow anything out of the water. But I do think it's a good opportunity to do it and try it. I wouldn't have gone with Spider-Punk personally. I think if you want something with depth that could carry like a franchise again, like Miles could, I would have probably leaned more into the route of maybe doing a 2099 or like a Ben Reilly Spider-Man animated feature, because you can just branch and do a lot more with that. Or just even go even way crazier and do Spider-Man, the future one. I always forget what that one was called from back when we were kids, where he's got like the cape and stuff. It's completely different setting and all that kind of stuff. So you really are just out there and zany and embracing the animated feel and look of it. So at least those are my thoughts on it. I think it's Spider-Man's the big IP for them. I don't think this is a surprise, but it's definitely, it makes sense, and they're going to do it anyway. So
Kenny, quick interjection before I let you go on this one. Outside of us, or outside of people who, I guess, follow movies specifically, or big fans of the Spider-Verse film, who saw Kaluuya's rendition of Spider-Punk in that movie, do you think that this has the juice to actually be something very successful? Or do you think that this is kind of indicating that we're about to get a lot more Spider-Punk in the trilogy conclusion that's going to allow people to kind of latch on to his character even more approaching this one?
I think it's the first part of that. I think Jay's right. Like, Spider-Man is one of the most beloved characters. We've obviously had a very traditional version that we've latched onto for most of our childhoods, and then I'm sure a lot of kids nowadays also similarly. But that's not to say that like a cool different version of Spider-Man won't also be successful. I don't know why. It just feels like one of those ones that sort of transcends the typical fan base deal, because he's like Marvel's Superman, from the sense that like he's the one that so many people know. Even if you're a casual superhero fan, he's the one that you kind of latch onto. So I feel like that's the legs that it has already going for it. We already know what Daniel Kaluuya can do. So I think that's another part of this entire equation. Other thing, I was going to throw on to like sort of the beginning part of this is just like kind of similarly to how we talked about with the other animated movie coming out. It's like, for my own personal feeling is like, I don't know that I'm like super stoked to watch this film in like 2035 when it finally releases. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like how I've been feeling about these films, is like, they've been fantastic, but the wait times between some of these movies has been like just crazy. And I understand, we've talked about it at length already on another pod, but it's just one of those things where my interest is slowly. There's just so much content being released in all these different places. Like, it's going to be hard for me to even remember that this is a project 4 or 5 years from now. So, not getting any younger either. So it's not like, I know. I was like, but yeah, that's just where we are right now. It's just like this wait time is where I'm just like, really? Like, we're going to be waiting like, I don't even know when the next. We haven't heard anything about that damn Lord of the Rings show. You know what I mean? Like, we know it's coming, but when? Like, yeah, when?
Well, let us know down in the comments below. Was Spider-Punk a big part of your viewing experience for Across the Spider-Verse, or is this something that has been completely outside of your mind, out of sight, out of mind? And are you excited for this to potentially actually make it to the screen? The next news nugget we got. This one, I have a very specific question for you gentlemen on it. A Quiet Place 3 will be releasing in July 9th, 2027. I have no issues with it. I think it was a fantastic first two films. John Krasinski has been doing a great job as a behind-the-camera artist right now. And he's going to be writing and directing this trilogy sequel. Where do you think this story can go? Obviously, we had the first one where it was a very specific situation. Second one, it kind of had little flashbacks here of when the first contact happened, and then obviously the post events of the first film. Now we're getting into Quiet Place 3. What I don't want to happen, but I feel like this could be the only way for it to go, is like losing Emily Blunt's character by the conclusion of the film, and it's just like the children figuring out how to survive in this world. Or they could be completely even more dumb, and I don't think John Krasinski's dumb, where it's like we figured out how to find a cure and to eliminate all the aliens from Earth, which I don't think is a good story plot line because it seems very overused and kind of redundant. But I want to get your guys' theories. What do you guys think that this third film could go into?
They develop technology.
Okay, when you furrow your brows,
you already know where Jay. Yeah.
They develop technology to call for assistance from deep into space.
Okay, all right.
And
What
the
collab
Helldivers are coming in to wipe out all of those aliens, and John Krasinski becomes the legend John Helldiver.
I had no idea where he was going
from
but
there.
Honestly, that bang, we're done. That's it.
Can you imagine though? It's like it's actually John Krasinski. It's like, wait, you died in the first one. Helldivers never run out of lives.
That's right. That's right.
That would actually be dope. Just imagine
just coming in, pods dropping, coming out hot with the quasar
Everything's
cannon.
Just imagine it's quiet and they're like about to get eaten and it's just like bum 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 bum. Oh, come on.
Become a Helldiver.
Like just four of them step out of the pod. Oh, okay.
Oh God.
All right. Jay's on to something. I vote
You're
what
welcome.
Jay said. Quiet Place 3 starring the Helldivers. Well done.
Yeah, that's the process.
Right, well, that was
it.
That was
Move
quick
on.
and
We're
easy.
done.
That was quick and easy. Ladies and gentlemen, just let us know what your theories are. Are you in the same realm as Jalen on this, or do you actually have something?
Come on,
that would be a little bit more grounded.
We're cooking. We're cooking with that one.
We're cooking.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I'll give you that. The next news nugget we got: Dave Bautista has signed on to star as the Kurgan in Highlander, starring Henry Cavill and Russell Crowe.
Hell yeah!
And he's also in talks to star in Roadhouse 2, which is still kind of in limbo with the new director and everything. But the one that we are mainly talking about today is his signing of Highlander. Once again, entering sort of a science fiction action film. But I think, nonetheless, if this was 10 years ago, I would have been kind of like, I don't really know. His acting is still kind of choppy. I think he's ready to kind of play into this a lot more, be more of a threat on screen, if you will. But gentlemen, what are your thoughts on Dave Bautista signing on?
Get this man a trophy already. Best supporting actor. Here we go.
He's
Bow
got
bang.
the belt. Give him the trophy.
Give him the trophy, man. Dude's crazy good. And I love just the way his career is kind of shaped and molded itself. It's everything The Rock wishes his could have been and more. So,
yep.
Yeah, that's just, he's just doing it too. I think this Highlander movie is going to be sick. And to be honest, like Henry Cavill, Russell Crowe, and now you're adding Dave Bautista. Like, dude.
Dead.
It's gonna be great. Pretty hyped for it. Not gonna lie. So, yeah, it's a great ad. Like I said, it never hurts to add talent all the time. So,
agreed.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it simple and sweet. I was like, love Dave Bautista. Great ad for that film. So,
Right on. I'm excited to see what he does. Also, dude is still like shredded.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
He got more
He
shredded.
lost all
Yeah.
the roid wrestling builds, and now he just looks like a normal guy that just
He's like, I don't
is
have to look
in
like
really good
Drax.
shape.
I can look like Dave now.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Dave. But let us know
I'm
down
Dave.
below what you think of him starring as Kurgan, which is a key pivotal role in this film. The next news nugget. Now, we had first gotten the announcement. We weren't sure what was really going on with it. We weren't sure, is this even is it gonna be real until we see them actually filming or whatnot? But they just signed another actor. Matt Smith is joining the Starfighter Star Wars movie alongside Ryan Gosling, and I believe Mia Goth is also a part of the production, and he will be playing the villain. Jalen, obviously we've seen I'm not going to talk about Morbius, but you've seen House of the Dragon. You can see the evil that can come out of Damon, if you will. Yeah.
Yes. Damon. Going
But
crazy.
let us know. Let me know your thoughts on him signing on as a villain for this film, a Star Wars.
If you need it, that's a guy to get right there. That's a great guy to get. Like, Morbius doesn't do him justice. If you have not, go watch House of the Dragon, please, for the love of God, because you get to see his actual like range and legs. Because he has his character in that show is so interesting, because in a lot of lights he is a villain to every other house, but also there's episodes where he's quite the hero in some cases. With how things are kind of percolating right now from where we left off in the show, he's kind of in that more hero role, but just a great amount of range to like the types of performances he can give. So yeah, I think bring him into Star Wars, and then you're going to have him go opposite Ryan Gosling and Mia Goth. Like, I don't know what they're cooking over there, but this seems like it should be pretty much just an absolute banger, like to kind of get more people back engaged and all that kind of stuff. And
also it's Sean Levy at the helm. So
I mean, my God, they're just
that's
setting
a recipe
themselves
for
up to have a nice little
you know what I mean?
Rogue One picture here. Like, I don't even care about, like I said, Star Wars. This is the stuff that real fans, I'm going to say, because there is that distinction of there are these loser fair weather ones that sit there and just knock everything and try to say like all Star Wars is bad since Disney owned it, which is just violently untrue. Like, I'm sorry. And then there's fans like myself, the real ones. I love new Star Wars. I will always go see new Star Wars and check it out because I love the IP. I love what George created. And I think there's so much more outside of the Skywalker saga that we can look at. And Starfighter seems like a fantastic avenue to get into with that kind of stuff. And like Andor kind of let us get a look kind of like the weird political spy part of Star Wars, which was really, really cool to get into. Boba Fett should have been our look into more of the gangster mobster side of things, but we didn't really get that full tilt with Boba Fett. And I wish we would have. Mandalorian still got a small glimpse of that culture in live action. We get way more of it, obviously, in Clone Wars, but maybe one day we'll get there. But again, there's just all these worlds. So the fact that they're trying to do this is great. And adding Matt Smith is just, chef's kiss. Like, that dude's a good villain. He'll crush it. I have no doubt. So,
Keone, thoughts?
I mean, I think that's like a perfect get. I mean, I feel like he's an underrated guy. That's sort of Ryan Gosling's stick for like a very, very long time, was the underrated guy. So to get the new underrated guy and throw him into a film, opposite of Ryan Gosling, I think they'll be fantastic against each other. So I am so excited for whatever this film is. I have no idea what it's about.
Yeah. I was gonna say, because I've the main thing I had ever seen Matt Smith from previously, I think it was back in college. He was like Doctor Who, which is he's kind of like a very bubbly, energetic guy, and then kind of just descended into darkness for every role after that. And I was like,
gotcha.
This guy's got some chops. So I am definitely excited to see where this leads. I mean, look at the picture. He just looks like a villain. and I don't.
That guy just looks scary.
He's just kind of standing there, but yeah, you kind of said he looks like an a-hole.
I didn't say that.
Anyway, he does kind of.
Yeah. I am excited to see where this goes. I'm hoping we get some more information soon. I hope they start filming soon, because I think that'll be the biggest tell. especially because we've been waiting for The Mandalorian and Grogu, which has been in production for like 4 years also, and really it's just us giving money to something we've been seeing on streaming for the past 10 years or whatever it was. I don't know, but we'll find out. Next news.
It's like that epitome of like, remember when we used to be like, why isn't there a Smallville movie, or why isn't there like this kind of like, it's like the epitome of like they're gonna actually try and do like the TV movie in a theater. It's just weird.
That was the thing. It was like, okay, you really think about it. Each episode's like a movie. Like you're getting it for freaking free on. Let us know down in the comments below. What do you think about Matt Smith signing on to this Star Wars Starfighter film across from Ryan Gosling? The last news nugget, and this is going to be a multi-parter because it is something that we have been wondering, and it's the tangibilization has come through for it because we are seeing set photos, we are seeing the suit, and we're getting some more announcements of one. Mark Ruffalo is officially signing on after rumors being circled around of him coming into the Spider-Man Brand New Day film. He is officially returning as the Hulk. That is very exciting for us because I know that we have been talking about how this could be playing into it. Now with the Punisher officially on board as well, and rumors that there is going to be a 3-way fight between the 3 stars. Thoughts on Mark officially back? Are we going to get Savage Hulk, or are we going to get, Professor Hulk?
I hope that by a proxy we're going to get Savage Hulk, because I think, to be honest, the main villain from everything that has been reported so far.
We're going to get some of that later.
Oh, come on, man. You can't talk. We can't talk about if it's going to be Savage or not.
Come on, talk about everything together. Just do it. Let him talk about it.
Because we can't talk. There's the only rationale that he could go back to Savage Hulk is if the villain is who we're thinking it's going to be, which is Mr. Negative from the video game series, and they're trying to capitalize on that IP. That's the only way that happens. Like, he kind of, pops up as maybe helping Peter with something, and obviously Mr. Negative's there, and then all of a sudden he corrupts.
Actually, let me ask you then,
what is personality, and that kind of splits it.
What is Mr. Negative's power set?
He's able to corrupt and like mess with your head quite a bit and show you the worst possible like version of yourself, essentially. So like he can kind of split you in half with the darkest parts of who you are as a person. So like you said, like there's still that part of the Hulk in there. It's just been taken over by Banner. So like he basically could hit the reset switch on Professor Hulk and undo all the work that Mark Ruffalo's character has done as Bruce Banner, which would be cool because then we get Savage Hulk back in the MCU, which is what fans have wanted for a long time. I never understood the nerfing of that character because they never got the rights back from Universal to make another solo film and blah blah blah. It's this whole complicated mess. But yeah, that's the way I think Savage Hulk can come back into it. Is it likely? Who's to say? Who's to say? I think the more likely scenario is there's something weird going on where Punisher is seeing some sort of rampage and they step in and help, and that's kind of how all that goes. But if it's, being described as a 3-way fight, I feel like the most logical sense is that, we're getting Savage Hulk back, and I can't wait to see John Bernthal's Punisher have to deal with seeing something like the Hulk for the first time and just being like, like as soon as it's on screen, like, oh, come on.
I can imagine Mr. Negative trying to show Frank the worst side. He was like, just another Tuesday for me, bub.
Yeah, I don't know how well that would work on Frank. I feel like he's
unironically,
like,
he
given
might be
what we've seen in the series.
Yeah, he might be the only one who just sees normal stuff.
His worst side of himself is like a sweet, calm person. He's like, wow.
No.
With cats.
No. Keone, I'll throw this next one over to you. Scorpion has also been announced as returning. Michael Mando has announced that he will be back in the helm after being teased in Homecoming, the first of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. My question to you, do you think that he's actually going to have a very big role in this, or is he just kind of there for, Spider-Man to, beat up some bad guys and have some fun before he gets to the meat and potatoes of what the plot's going to be?
I guess the one thing that has me sort of confused is it seems like they've announced a lot of the villains, like almost Sinister Six, but not levels of villains, because I feel like they've announced a good grip of them randomly.
I feel like this is very Sony of them.
Yeah, so like
I don't think this is Marvel's camp.
I definitely don't think this is like in the vein of like Superman, where you just have a bunch of on-screen villains that just sort of pop in, get whacked, move on type of deal. Um, but I am of that mindset where it's like I feel like if you're bringing this dude back, and for those who were fans of like not Breaking Bad, excuse me, of Better Call Saul, like he was fantastic in there. I feel like he was way overdue for his chance to actually portray this character on screen. Obviously, they had that weird cameo, and he never got to do anything with it. This feels like this could be like their first opportunity to like really explore not only like the rogues gallery of villains that Spider-Man faces, but like also include why the Hulk and the Punisher would be included in this film. Like I feel like this is going to be a much bigger film than initially thought. You know what I mean? Like it's going to still be street level heroes. So to answer your question, and after full circling it, I just think it's going to be mostly like, yeah, I think he'll have a significant ish role, not like a one off screen type of deal. Like, darn you, Spider-Man, and just like gets put in jail. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like it's going to be a legit something there. Maybe he's plotting with whoever the main villain is. Maybe Mr. Negative. I don't know.
Right on. The next news that involved in this film is the Inner Demon logo that was teased on the side of a tanker. Obviously, Jalen touched on it already. Mr. Negative is probably going to be this film. I know that rumors came out, I want to say
basically confirmed with
months
that logo.
ago, that they were trying to cast an Asian actor. I have not heard anything quite yet. Maybe it's already been cast and maybe they're just keeping it really under wraps, or who knows what the deal is. But since they started filming, I'm assuming things are ready to go for that actor. But this is pretty cool that they're kind of teasing this already. And that's what I'm saying. This has got to be Sony work, because Marvel is not this, like, I know Marvel is filming it, but this is all still a Sony production where it seems so willy-nilly that everything is like open set over in Glasgow right now, and everything is being able to be filmed by bystanders and everything, and you're getting way too much information, but maybe not any information at all. I don't know. But what are you guys' thoughts on them pretty much teasing or confirming?
I think this is part of just building the hype machine for this movie, because it's gonna be his
Coming
real.
out in a year,
like,
less than a year.
Some of us fans would argue that this will be Tom Holland's first real Spider-Man film away from the MCU. Nobody knows who he is. There's no more Tony Stark. There's no more tech. It's him really like on his own, obviously having to deal with some of these things with nothing but him being himself. And that's what his whole arc was while he was with the Avengers and all these things that we got to see. Now, obviously, it's still a fun comic book movie. There's like the team ups with the Hulk and the Punisher are going to be in there. Matt Gargan will be in there at some point. And obviously, they're capitalizing off of a very, very successful game for them, which made them damn near millions upon millions and billions of dollars, which was the Spider-Man game franchise from Sony PlayStation. So, capitalizing off of that and kind of integrating it into the films, I think was a genius move to kind of go that route. They got the cultural zeitgeist kind of ready for us sweaties that understand like Mr. Negative and all those kinds of things. So taking that and getting a live action adaptation, like 5-6 years after the first game for Marvel Spider-Man came out, pretty solid, I would say, idea as far as like getting buzz around the movie goes. And then of course it's going to be more of a real like Sony Spider-Man film. There's not going to be a ton of MCU stuff, like at least at the initial gates of it, I would assume. But like it's really he's swung back to the other side, as Kevin Feige likes to say. Like he can go between these two universes. Yeah. So I'm excited. Again, we can say what we want about Sony. They have produced some of the worst Spider-Man films of all time, but they have also produced simply the best Spider-Man films ever made, and some you could argue were some of the best superhero movies ever made. Spider-Man 2 is still in my top 3, like from Sam Raimi, and I will still argue that like Amazing Spider-Man 2, I think they jumped ship too early, and like there is an Earth 2 variant of this reality where we never see Tom Holland because Andrew Garfield is still getting his chance to finish his trilogy and all those kinds of things. So, but that being said, absolutely cannot wait. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a fantastic film.
I know. Kenny, any thoughts? I don't know if you were deep into the Mr. Negative.
I mean, Spider-Man. I forget which game it was. It was one, right? That Mr. Negative was the
first one. It was Marvel Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, he was a big part of that storyline. Honestly, now kind of thinking back to it, I think they did have cameo. Maybe that was the second one that they had Scorpion appearing in there.
The Scorpion's in the first one too. The second one was mainly around Venom.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I'm mixing up my games. So Spider-Man 1, the entire storyline there, now making that connection. Wasn't even thinking about that till Jay just said it. I was kind of like, there's some story beats from that game that could definitely trickle their way into the film. So, all things told, the direction they're already heading, I mean, it's going to be so good. Or at least it better be. So...
Right on.
Please.
Yeah, don't mess this up.
If there's any sort of comic book god, Sadie Sink as Gwen Stacy would be just sublime. That would be so great if that rumor could just stick and be true.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she'd be so perfect.
Yeah. The next part of it, suit reveal. It was kind of weird. It was kind of cool though, where Tom Holland did his own little suit premiere, just kind of in the production studio, coming through the doors, like, you guys ready? And like, it felt like he was kind of waking himself up to be part of Spider-Man again after some odd years, right? Because it's been
he took a break.
He hasn't filmed Spider-Man since 2021, maybe 2022, when he was
since Far From Home, right?
Yeah. But here he is in his new suit, very, very kind of original, sleek look. I mean, if you can say original, you know what I mean. But what are you guys' thoughts on his suit? How it looked? How it's kind of in the little, web slinging behind the scenes shots, or him on the tank going down the streets, and that one aura pick that was so dope of him just kind of standing on the tanker with the crowd just around him.
In here, come on, man.
It's kind of crazy you didn't put the
like
aura.
The one
find it. Leave me alone.
Need. That's the only one we need. We don't even care about these picks. What are these? I mean, just to go real quick before Jay goes, because I know Jay knows more detailed stuff than I do. I mean, I thought it was really, really cool. Really great to see the colors back on there again. One thing I was kind of noting was like, does it look like Tom got like maybe a little bit taller, like longer? Something about, I don't know if it's the suit or if it's just him, but he just looks longer. Like his torso looks longer. Everything just looks a little bit taller. I was like, I don't know if it's just
the way
everything.
Be the suit.
Yeah, maybe because I was like, I feel like he typically looked very like compressed. It's like the best way I can say it. But
yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, but something about.
But I think also it's because they don't. I think didn't the original suit have that kind of like belt line that kind of cut off?
Oh yeah, you're right. That's a very good point. Okay, yeah, that explains a lot of it. Okay, all right, on to the man now.
This is a great return to form. I loved the suit at the very end of Far From Home, or sorry, No Way Home, where it was.
Aura.
That's correct.
That's such a dope
Thank you. It's so great. But like it really is like it feels like we're kind of back to Sony era Spider-Man stuff. Obviously the Spider, I've never been a fan of the Sony Spider, the way it looks. I actually much preferred his first suit from the MCU, even though it was kind of MCUified. It had like the extra design lines which you didn't need, but like for me, seeing the Steve Ditko era Spider look is a big deal for me. But we are back to a real blue and red suit, and it looks great. And my hope, and I will pound my fist into the ground. Marvel has this dumb habit of CGI mapping over all of their great costumes. I'm hoping to God that because this is back kind of more of a Sony majorly controlled production, that we get back to having the suits that we've had from Andrew Garfield and Sony and you know, Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire, where there's going to be plenty of practical scenes, but yes, obviously there's going to be times where they have to CGI because he's Spider-Man, and kind of get back into that vibe of it, because I think all of those suits in the MCU look fantastic. And you see him on set filming these scenes, there were a good chunk of practical effects, but when every scene has a CGI matte, it all just looks kind of weird and like gummy almost.
Yeah,
I don't know how to describe it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
It just
yeah.
has that weird look to it, and you lose the cool stuff that happens with lighting on the real texture of a suit when they take the time to make it from the
That was
costume
a
designer.
weirdly
So,
perfect word. Gummy is a great.
it just
I don't know why. Yeah,
kind
that
of
makes
weird,
so much sense.
like
yeah.
it just bouncy, like it just doesn't look. It just
I
didn't
knew
look
exactly
like it
what
was
you meant when
something
you said it.
believable.
Right when it's just like, that's the
gummy.
word.
Yeah, that's gummy.
Got
It's
kind of
gummy.
I just didn't like it when they did that. Even though the suits all pretty much look great in all those movies, but this is probably one of my favorite suits for sure. It's obviously my favorite suit that he's worn in particular.
I agree.
I'd say this one, his first one from Civil War, and then the No Way Home gold Iron Spider suit are probably my top three favorite suits from Tom Holland's era. I just think all three of those suits are peak and look great. So no, I'm looking forward to it, man. Again, I get just no CGI mapping over the damn suits. It looks so stupid, and the costumes look great. These people that make these suits work so hard and do all this stuff.
I bet you anything too that they did it this way so that they can meet that July 2026 deadline. So it's less post work. You know what I mean?
As they should have done a very long time ago.
Yeah. Because if you really
why.
think about it, he always had the CGI mapping suit on during any behind the scenes. It was never him in a suit.
In the actual suit, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
So,
yeah.
Dope.
And even when he was, they just CGI mapped it over anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
The
they still
damn
just put
gumminess.
CGI all over. Yeah. So.
Well, that'll do it for our news nuggets and the information regarding Spider-Man Brand New Day. In the last 2 weeks, we've gone from, is it starting? This is when it's starting, the shoot. And now we're literally a week later. And it's like, all right, look, we got all these behind-the-scenes clips, shots, premiering of the suit. Everything's coming together, and they're going full steam ahead. So let us know down in the comments below. Are you a big fan of the new suit that he's wearing? Are you excited that this film is underway and everything is going to be coming out hopefully by the July 2026 deadline? Moving on to our trailer reviews. The first trailer we got today, Keanu, I'm going to let you take this one away because the paper.
Oh, yeah.
They premiered the first teaser trailer of it, and, you know, I'm going to be plumb honest. I didn't like it. It felt like they tried to do too much and then too little at the same time.
Yep.
But let me know what your thoughts were, Keone.
Yeah, my immediate thought was this is completely different than, like, I mean, first and foremost, like, you're never going to recapture what the original one did. But this felt more in line with, like, the comedy of, like, all these shows that are out now. I'm not gonna lie, like, the trailer didn't bother me so much. It's just more the fact that it was tied to The Office that was more bothersome. But, like, from a comedic standpoint, I didn't mind it. I thought it was actually kind of funny. It's just a different style of funny. It's more in line with, like the Abbott Elementary. What is it? Like the Elementary, what, I forgot what that one's called.
Abbott Elementary.
Oh, it is Abbott Elementary. Okay, so it's like Abbott Elementary, like some of the more modern shows. And I get it. They obviously have to appeal to a more modern audience, but I just couldn't capture that essence of what The Office is. The one thing I will say, though, is like seeing Oscar in there just gave me all the feels immediately. And then kind of having that little...
get out. Not you.
I'm going to make this unusable. Fuck. I just thought it was hilarious the way that they threw him in there. Love that actor. Just wasn't quite the magic of like the original show. It's never going to be. I'm obviously like a huge Office stan, so I'm not going to like love any new iteration of it. I will say though, I am actually interested in seeing it.
I do want to give it a go.
Yeah, the main actor, I don't even know what his name is, but
Domhnall Gleeson.
He's great. I love him in everything I've seen him in, like whether it's a villain, whether it's more like the comedic stuff, the more serious stuff he's been in. He's a very underrated
actor, and
oh hell
great
yeah, like he's really really good. So yeah, exactly. So I
forgot his dad's name though. Brendan Gleeson. He was Mad Eye Moody.
Yeah, I know. So I was like, but that's not his. Is that his name? Brandon doesn't seem like that'd be like. I feel like it'd be like Ronald Gleeson or something. She's like or McGrady Gleeson. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, I mean it is fantastic.
Brandon Gleeson.
Oh wow,
Brendan.
That does not seem like it would fit his really cool beard and all that. So, great acting. Think it's going to be a fun show. It's just not going to be quite the Office per se, but
Yeah. Only question I'll ask you, Jalen, regarding it. Obviously, when the American rendition of The Office premiered, everything was unknown actors outside of Steve Carell, for the most part.
Correct.
It seems like they're trying to stick with the same recipe for this one. Technically, Domhnall Gleeson is the one that would be most known. Do you think that this was a wise choice?
No, especially if you're trying to reboot a series. You've got to get a real banger in there. I think getting like a Bobby Lee or like Shane Gillis.
You're Shane Gillis. Oh my god!
Like you get like a real tentpole like comedian to lead the show, and then you surround the rest with unknowns, like somebody that's in the culture zeitgeist right now to like
that's fair
redo that kind of property. Because then that gets everybody at least bought in and like, oh, Shane Gillis has a new show. It's kind of a reboot of The Office. Like, it's like, oh, okay. And then he gets in with the writing or like all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I have no interest. The only thing that would probably make me watch the show is if for some reason Adam Driver shows up as like a crazy CEO and just like absolutely mops the floor with his character. Because that would just be peak comedy, like meta defining stuff. Yeah, that's the only thought I had when I watched the trailer was like, Kylo Ren is going to be so upset that you are not doing what you're supposed to do.
What do you guys think about Kylo Ren? You guys think he's a cool guy?
I just want matters that he loses.
I just need Kylo to lose. Yeah, that's all I see with that guy, no matter what he's in, to be honest. Because he did such a good job, personally, for me, in that trilogy of just being this terribly annoying Commander Hux. Yes. He sold it really well. So, yeah, I just, not for me, man. I love that Oscar was in there, though. I do think that was funny. But, yeah, you're never going to touch the rebooted original, air quote, because technically everybody forgets that our version of The Office was a reboot of the UK show.
Is there a world where this show meets the standard of what The Office gave us?
I don't think so. I don't think the comedy is allowed for it anymore. We're kind of getting back into it now, but like the stuff they got away with back then on that show, just impossible to try to get away with now without the internet setting you on fire and demanding that it's canceled and people losing careers and all that kind of stuff. Like,
that's fair.
I just don't think you could get it done. Like, and Steve Carell has come out and said that too. Like, I think it was made at the perfect time of like, there's a lot of things comedy wise that you were allowed to do and say and make jokes about that now because of PC culture and all this like, nonsense that we can't do anymore. So, somebody's always got hurt feelings or gets offended, and we've lost our ability to just be enjoyers of comedy media as a whole in society. So I'm glad that like comedians like Shane Gillis and all that are kind of getting somewhat popular and breaking down that door again to do some really off-color jokes that are pretty offensive but still hilarious. To where maybe one day we do get back to that where a reboot of The Office or something like that could actually take off. But I don't know that I haven't seen it, but like at least the initial vibe, don't know that like the comedy would stick for me long enough for me to stay interested in the show for sure.
That's irony fair. In what Jay just said, though, I was just looking at the picture and I was just like, does it not look like they were just like hire one of each?
Yes.
Look at the picture.
Swear to God, they were like going down the diversity checklist. African American,
What it
Latino
gets, a darker
American.
one
It's
and a
like-
light-skinned
It's
one.
like
Yes.
one
And
that's
then
possibly
light
they.
skinned African American, Asian.
who will be our
Okay,
blonde?
great.
This is as blonde as we can get.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yes. Okay, we have the Germans
I
represented
hadn't even
now.
thought about it until I just
Wonderful.
looked at the picture and I was like, "There's literally one of each. Like it's just on the
Kind of
screen."
insane.
You know what? DEI is a big thing nowadays. Anyways,
Oh,
let us know down in the comments below. Were you a big fan of The Office? Are you excited for the paper? Are you at least going to give the paper a shot and see what it gives? We probably will. Yeah, I think I'll give it a go.
I'll give it a go.
Next trailer review. The return of the GOAT, Brendan Fraser. He is starring in The Rental Family, which is an American actor who lives in Japan and part of a rental family where he gets hired to act as a part of a family member, depending on the situation. It is a story about him kind of coming to terms with building bonds with this family that he's working for. But I wanted to get your guys' take on this trailer because we haven't really seen him in a starring role since The Whale, which won him an Oscar. So now we're getting him back again.
Talk about coming out of retirement with a bang, baby. Like,
Bang.
you make one movie and then get the Oscar. Like, damn.
Gentlemen, thoughts?
It looks fantastic. It looks like it'll be a very Oscar baity film, but Brendan Fraser is back, bro. Like, I can't believe we were missing this dude for how many years. Like he's just so
he was
good.
a person you didn't know you needed until he was back.
Oh
in the
yeah,
fold.
and then when he's gone, you're just kind of sad. Like it's funny because I remember like the last thing I could recall him from was that ill-fated Looney Tunes film that like kind of destroyed. Actually, really randomly, just listened to like that pod with Tony Hawk where he was like talking about the Skate Jam movie that he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And he said it literally was because of that movie that he couldn't do it because that Looney Tunes film bombed, so they couldn't continue on, which I was just like, we never got Skate Jam. Come on. That would have been so dope. They could still do it. He still can move. But anyway, back to this. Brendan Fraser, fantastic. Everything we've seen him in recently has been just like peak. So this dude, I mean, this looks like it's going to be a very fun, also very emotional film. I think we kind of already can see the direction it's going. You know what I mean? Like he'll probably just start falling in love with his, fake family, and then maybe that just continues into like his later role of actually being this father figure and all this sort of stuff. But yeah, it was just so good. A lot of heart in here. This might be one. I was gonna say theater, but I was kind of like, I mean, let's keep it a buck. You're not gonna watch it in theater, but a really fun discount Tuesday, I would at least think about it, and then most likely sit on the couch and watch it. So, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Right on.
Better yet, I'll give
Dylan,
it this label. Had it come out during that time when we did the dual releases, I would have rented this movie to watch it. You know what I mean? At home, like
Okay.
that.
Right
yeah,
on.
there. That's where I'm gonna put it. Yeah.
I know. Jalen, any thoughts?
Just stick with Searchlight, bro. I think they were the same ones that did The Whale, right? Like, it's like they just
I believe
clearly
so.
there's such a specific kind of look to all the pictures with
Yeah.
him in it now, because this looks like from a cinematography standpoint, it does look like similar shot and all that kind of stuff with lighting and effects and all that kind of stuff to The Whale. But I love the renaissance that we're getting now, much like that of Matt. Oh my God, I'm totally Jesus. The Reconnaissance. Sorry.
Oh, Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Reconnaissance. Yeah, Matthew McConaughey. Excuse me. But I think we're having the exact same thing for Brendan Fraser. Obviously, it's much later in his career than Matthew McConaughey, but no, I think this is amazing. Good for him. I don't know if I'm quite out to the theater to go see it, but it's on the list. It's on the radar. I have a big phone log of things, of movies that I want to just make sure I see because they look like they're good cultural films, and the art of film looks like it's peak here. So I can't wait to see what's going on with this movie.
Right on. Let us know down in the comments below what you think about Brendan Fraser's Rental Family trailer. Next one we got Cold Storage. Now I added this one because, one, the success of Naked Gun in its critical and its audience acclaim. But it seems like Liam Neeson's kind of on his I just don't give a fuck to her about what films he's doing. It seems very wonky, very fun. Joe Keery from Stranger Things fame is also in this, and it's about some fungus that's escaped from a storage container, storage facility, and it's spreading across the town. And Liam Neeson's one of the guys who were kind of put in to get it done, as well as Joe. Your guys' thoughts? I think this is for sure going to be a couch watch, but I wanted to get your guys' thoughts because it seemed like a weird, fun film for Liam Neeson to just be like, yeah, I'm back.
Definitely a couch watch. And I feel like, did they just trick this guy? Like, they were like, hey, you're going to the set of Stranger Things, but then it literally is just cold storage, which is like pretty much the exact same concept and plot. But just, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that kid just
they have
signed
a
up
line
for
in
the
the
same
film for
thing,
sure,
but it's a
him going,
movie.
Things are getting stranger.
Stranger. For sure. I mean, good for Liam Neeson though. I think he's just sort of cranking them out right now. It feels like maybe like a farewell tour. Like maybe he's trying to rack up some more movies and then maybe call it a day from like a retirement standpoint and just be done.
He is 73.
Let's say he's put together a lot of great projects since he kind of got done with Star Wars and all those other things. But yeah, good for him, man. This looks interesting. Like I said, this seems like more like, if we're talking about back in the day, it'd be a rental, right?
Yeah.
But definitely more of a couch watch for me if we're gonna do like that kind of comparison. So
yeah, hey, I mean, it looked really fun. I was also with the couch watch deal, but I mean, I think I'll definitely check it out because it looks like just one of those random films I would probably enjoy, even though I probably shouldn't enjoy it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know down in the comments below. Did you enjoy this teaser trailer for Cold Storage starring Liam Neeson and Joe Keery? The last one we got on the docket today, him. Now this one's just a little bit more. We did the teaser before, but this one is a much deeper look into the film, starring Marlon Wayans, and it's about this young star who's going to be entering the NFL league, and he gets a chance to work out with his idol growing up. And it shows kind of like the back. I'm not going to say that this is actually how things go down, but like because there's a supernatural element to this, so clearly there's some exaggerations, but to the depths of which someone will go so that they can be successful in their craft. I personally love what I'm seeing from Marlon Wayans in this because it just shows this kind of creepy, darker, actual thespian side of him. But gentlemen, what were your guys' thoughts after seeing the extended trailer of this film?
Fantastic. Jordan Peele does movies, and they're very Jordan Peele every single time. Like, you know it's a Jordan Peele movie because you're like watching the trailer, you're like, when is it gonna get weird? When is it gonna get weird? Okay, now it's weird. Yep. There we go. Okay, now we're in. Okay, baby, let's get it cooking. So yeah, definitely looks interesting. I like the take on it. I think the dude just really understands how to make compelling film and art. So just good for Jordan Peele. Good for this young actor too, fairly unknown to be doing that, and good for Wayans as well because like he's never really been like a big super mega like first cast actor guy to get like a performance from him like this, and I think Jordan Peele is like the right director to do that.
So Jordan Peele is actually, I believe, producing this one. So the director for this one is Justin Tipping.
Nah, he's basically directing it. Like we
come on.
Okay, all right.
Come on.
It's a Jordan Peele movie. Like, come on, come on.
All right.
It's somebody in the chair, but like he clearly had influence on the writing and what the story was. Like,
actually, Justin
Jordan
Tipping
Peele doesn't
wrote
do
it,
hands
so.
off.
Come on.
No, he didn't.
Come on.
No, he didn't.
It was Jordan Peele. Come on.
It was Jordan Peele. Come on.
No one even knows.
You don't make
Tipping. Come on.
You don't know Justin Tipping? He's done great work, such as.
You don't make
Dear
almost
White
$1 billion on Get Out.
You say Dear White
What was it, like a $2 million budget? Yeah.
Yeah, you heard me.
Crazy. But no, I mean, it's always definitively you get the vibe of Jordan Peele in these films. So to see maybe he can get that performance out of, or the director can get that performance out of Wayans is going to be very interesting. So cannot wait to see what they're going to do with this one.
Yeah, I mean, I was just only going to add on to kind of what you said about Marlon Wayans. I mean, I guess you just never really think about it because most of his films are, where most of what you think of him is like the scary movie stuff. But like, you forget that guys can act. You know what I mean? Like you forget.
I think the
that
one
they're actually...
movie I remember seeing him like have like just a side of
white
drama.
Chicks.
No, I was gonna say The Sixth Man.
Kidding. Oh yeah.
Yeah. There was like
forgot about
it was
that.
humorous, but
there was some part. Yeah, obviously, it's like obviously he died. Yeah, so it's just like I mean, definitely like the intense scene he had with him, like how bad do you want it, that kind of stuff. Even like that crazy sequence with like the football, that launcher thing that just like been shooting the guy in the face. I was like, wow.
What happens when you throw it over the middle and you miss your pass?
It's like,
oh my God.
This is wildly intense, but I mean, very Jordan Peele. Honestly, looks like it'll be a banger. But again, this is one of those, man, even with like most of the Jordan Peele films, I don't know that I've really watched them in the theater, and it's not necessarily because
have to be in a mood.
I think that's exactly what it is. Like you have to be in a weird, depressive, like weird, crazy state to want to enjoy this film. It's a very artsy film. They're very, very good films. It's just hard to like watch.
You really have to be ready to get weird in the movie.
Yes,
like because Get Out was like that when I went and saw it in theaters. I just
like,
kind of got my brain ready to see some crazy stuff, and then sure enough, there was definitely some crazy shit in that movie. And a lot of angles that I did not understand. But that was also, I feel like, maybe like more of a cultural zeitgeist thing. Like that movie was just an amalgamation of random. What was it, like a $10 million budget? And it ended up making almost $1 billion at the box office, something crazy. Like culturally, that movie just got set on fire. So don't know if that will ever happen again for film and that kind of thing. But it clearly shows that when you do something that is so substantial and so bold on a low budget, that like good films will attract people to the theater, because that thing just kind of kept rolling and rolling and rolling over time.
Yeah.
And so he's able to do that, and he's built a career off of that. And I think when even at the production level, he's still heavily involved, and you can definitely tell it's got his thumbprint on it. Just like when Ryan Coogler produces The Eyes of Wakanda, which was a fantastic miniseries, you can definitely tell that he's got his stamp on it, because there's just things about that like Wakanda is always going to be Ryan Coogler's forever, as far as I'm concerned with the MCU. And that's just kind of how I feel the same way about like Jordan Peele stuff. Like whenever he's producing, directing, doesn't matter, he's going to be involved, and you can tell that he is at the forefront of the projects. So yeah.
Right on. Well, that'll do it for us here on this segment of Post Credits. Let us know down in the comments on any of the news nuggets or trailer reviews that we covered today. Once again, please give us a like, comments, subscribe, a follow, anything. Your support is appreciated. But as always, thank you all for making us a part of your day. We enjoyed having you be a part of ours. From all of us here at Boy and Soy, good vibes and love, everybody.
Bang, bang.
Deuces.